We are Chris Lee and Blake Lovell of Southeastern 14, presented by Stakes, here to preview East Tennessee State's trip to Mississippi State. Blake, the Bulldogs had a tough one last week, losing 45-19 at home against Georgia. No shame in that. State's played a pretty brutal schedule. Now it gets a little bit easier with ETSU, though there are certainly worse FCS opponents you could play than ETSU. Remember, that's the team that upset Vanderbilt in its opener last year, went to the playoffs. Coach Randy Sanders retired in the offseason. They're reloading. I think they're 7-3. What do we think of this one?
All right, Chris. So I'm sorry. You will have to have watched the Texas A&M video for reference for what I'm about to not only say, but show you right now. All right, I want to show you I'm not lying, Chris, okay? And I'm sorry to all the Mississippi State fans that are tuning in. Yes, I have the screenshot this time. So I talked about in that when I went to the Texas A&M stats, and I was trying to just, pull up the stats for us to talk about Texas A&M's offense. Well, what it showed me instead was apparently there's a quick glitch in the system. It showed me the Chicago Bears offense. So it had Justin Fields listed on the Bears on A&M and all this other stuff. Well, now, Chris, ETSU, which let me tell you, ETSU may prefer to have their offense versus the offense that I'm about to show you right here, because this is an offense I don't know if anyone wants to be attached to at the moment. So the big reveal is coming, Chris. Let me find a way to share this. And boy, we said we didn't know how we we're going to make some of these interesting, but we have found a way here. We have found a way to make these interesting. So give me just a second here, Chris, and we're going to be able to share, and I'm going to show you what I'm talking about here.
Maybe the best part of the preview.
The Denver Broncos offense. I don't know if you're ETSU, you are running away, because if Russell Wilson in that offense right now, Chris, do you see this?
It says East Tennessee State on my screen.
Yes, but do you see the name and the passing and the rushing?
Oh, I got it. So Russell Wilson will be quarterbacking East Tennessee State this week.
If you're ETSU, I don't know if that's what you want, because that offense right now.
I did watch that game yesterday because the Titans happen to be my favorite team. The Titans defense was beaten up.
What am I missing here?
Russell Wilson still couldn't move the ball.
Maybe they have relegated,
and he's going to be really tired after playing a Sunday game and then a turnaround on Saturday.
I think if you're East Tennessee State, you will prefer to have your own offense right now, because I don't think the Broncos offense is one that anyone wants any part of at this moment. All right, jokes aside, we'll get back to your scheduled programming here. Anyways, yeah, I mean, this game is one where Mississippi State, I think, when you play these kind of games, the style Mississippi State plays is always one I think that's all, it's hard to prepare for, especially I think against non-league games. And so that's something I think that will be a big storyline heading into this one.
Well, when ETSU
has the ball, Russell Wilson's going to drop back.
Russell Wilson or not,
or he's going to, yeah. So there you go.
ETSU averaging 31.6 a game. State giving up 26.1. The Buccaneers have lost 3 fumbles. State has recovered 7. They've thrown 12 picks. State's got 11. So look out for that. Emmanuel Forbes can always run one back at any given moment. Let's see. ETSU runs it and passes it just about exactly the same. 33 rush plays, 33 pass plays a game. Remember, a sack counts as a pass play. When it runs, 5.7 a carry on rush plays. State giving up 5.5. That's been a little bit of an Achilles heel. State's pass defense, though, has been great. 5.8 yards per attempt. ETSU averaging 5.9. Run the ball, Russell Wilson. That's what you do.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, ETSU's found themselves in some high-scoring games this year. I think the one, let's see, I mean, Samford's good. I mean, they're 9-1. The only game they lost this season was that game against Georgia. But, I mean, that was a 55-45 game. So, think about that. They played Samford, that's 55-45. That one was in Johnson City. Mercer was another high-scoring game, 55-33. They lost that one, but they gave up 55, so that's something else to think about. But they've actually played in some, kind of high-scoring matchups here, 48-41 against Wofford. So, I mean, they've shown the ability to score some points. Some of those probably more so by necessity based on just how those games were playing out. But yeah, I mean, it's again, we made the joke about Russell Wilson and all that, and the glitch in the system, but um, I think this is one where we talked about Mississippi State's defense this year. I mean, they've just got, I think their schedule, that's kind of one of the things we talked about is it's just kind of where they were at the
Well,
point
look
where
at the
they,
offenses. I mean, they've
yeah,
played Arizona, which got a big win this week, and that was on the road. They played at LSU, Arkansas, Kentucky back when Kentucky hadn't semi-collapsed, Alabama, Georgia. I mean, this has
yeah.
been a tough sled for State.
Yeah, and they did give up some points to Auburn. I think that was a little surprising. So I can't say their defense has played as well in the past little while as they did earlier in the season, but at the same time, again, I think it's it's a different matchup here. So I'd be surprised if the defense doesn't kind of come out and find a way to get back on track somewhat in this game. But again, like I said, ETSU has put up some points, but a 3-7 team, you would think your defense can find a way to get back on track here.
Okay, before we talk about the matchup on the other side of the ball, predict sports better than the crowd for a chance to win NFTs. With Stakes, players can submit their sports predictions against friends, other fans, and influencers forever. Don't let your sports genius go overlooked. Join Stakes and have the best predictions captured in the moment. Go to playwithstakes.com/14. Use our invite code Southeastern14 for a double welcome bonus. Free to join, free to play. It's a predictions app, not a betting app. You can win stuff. You can help us out. Lots to like there. Okay, when State's got the ball averaging 31.2 points, ETSU giving up 28. State's thrown 8 picks, which is exactly what ETSU has in terms of interceptions. I'm sorry, that's fumbles. Interceptions, ETSU has registered 11. State's only thrown 5. State's been sacked 20 times. ETSU's got 17 of them. Rushing plays, again, a rushing play does not count sacks. TSU averaging 6.7 per rush. State giving up 4.7. State averaging 4.7. ETSU giving up 6.7. That's a lot. Pass plays. ETSU giving up 6.7. State averaging only 5.8. We know what State's going to do. It's going to throw short passes over and over again, use those basically as rushing plays. Although, based on this, if that number's right, State might want to look into running the ball a little bit more, which you've seen it do at times.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think it's always a challenge when you're coming in and having to prepare for this offense. And like we said, I mean, they've seen some good defenses too. And I think we kind of talked about their own defense, but they've seen some good defenses. And I think, that's probably hurt their offensive efficiency a bit in some of these games they lost. Because again, right, they played Georgia, they played Alabama, even, a team like Auburn, they scored 39 against them, but that's still, a decent defense. Kentucky's defense looked a little bit better that time of that game. So, yeah, it's just I think a Mike Leach offense. If you're ETSU, what you're preparing for, but like you said, also a team that is not necessarily afraid to run the ball if they need to in those kind of scenarios. So, but a lot of Will Rogers as always. He'll throw the ball quite a bit, and yeah, I wouldn't be surprised Mississippi State, mixes in the run a bit, especially if they were to get out to a big lead in this one, of course. So.
Yeah, I had some wrong numbers in there, so let me correct that. Per rushing play, ETSU is giving up 4.5. So that sounds a little more like it. I thought that was high. So anyway, I mean, State's MO is not to run the ball.
Yeah, they're going to throw it, but yeah.
Yeah, look, there's no line on this game that I have seen. I looked up Jeff Sagarin. He has it as about a 38.5 point game in Starkville. Do with that what you want. ETSU has lost its last game to Western Carolina 20-17. The week before that, lost 48-41 to Wofford. State had a tough week, but that's Georgia. Yeah, I'm out of ideas other than the Denver Broncos jokes about John Elway not walking through the door. But
yeah, I mean, look, East Tennessee State has won 3 games this season, Chris. Right? They beat Mars Hill to start the season. They won at Robert Morris on September 24th. Robert Morris is 0-10. And then they beat VMI on October the 8th. VMI is 1-9. So, I mean, again, I think you just have to look at it from that standpoint, if you're just trying to find something in this game, like it's just ETSU's won 3 games, but they've done it against 3 teams that, quite frankly, they should have beat. And the rest of the games, while some have been close, like I said, especially the Sanford one, that could get your attention because Sanford's a really good team. Yeah, you certainly are picking Mississippi State in this one and probably picking the Dogs to win big here.
You know who else has won 3 games?
The Denver Broncos.
The Denver Broncos.
It all comes together here. So
it all comes full circle.
Listen, ETSU might score more or against Sanford than the Broncos would. So I don't know. We'll see.
All right, we're out of material here. Okay, we preview every single SEC game every week. Best way to catch those is subscribe to our channel. Thanks to Blake. Thanks for watching. Thanks to Stakes. We'll see you again soon at Southeastern 14.